Good evening, wonderful people. Welcome to the Keeping It Real Conversation Show with your host, Camila, aka Sunshine. Today is special. Today, of course, it's Christmas Eve. We have a special edition tonight. Of course, God saw fit for us to be here tonight, so I need you guys to do me a favor. Let people know that we are live right now on the Facebook page, Sunshine Camila. We are live on the YouTube channel, which is the name of the show. Please like, share, and subscribe. We are live on Twitch, and we are live on X, formerly known as Twitter. Tonight, as usual, I believe in 6 degrees of separation. You're literally one person away, one advice away, one help away from where you need to be in your destiny, proven over and over again since I started this show in 2020. Also, I have some of the dopest guests in this side of heaven, and tonight is no different. This woman right here, I had on a couple of years ago, when she brought out her first edition of Daddy's Issues. I had to not only support her because she's a fellow person I went to high school with, but I believe in what she put out. And I immediately got the book, read it myself like, oh, yeah, this is dope. But now, we are here again promoting her book, Letters to Her Grants. And we're going to get into that. This one right here also, bachelor's, master's. We're working with the teens. We're working with the adolescents. We're working with really promoting that it's okay to have therapy. And this is the real section. And we're going to get into those conversations, what therapy really does for you. And we're going to talk about the importance of why she wrote this book. And also putting out that there will be a Daddy's Issue part 2. So if you didn't get the first one, I'm going to need you to get that before the new one comes out. So tonight, as usual, Village, I need you to chime in. I need you to support. I need you to share. Now, if you are in your home, I don't care what room you're in, I need you to stand up. I need you to raise your arms to the top. And I need you to get ready to say what I need to say. If you are in your car, I need you to safely pull over, roll down your windows, or even get out your car. Let people know that we are welcoming the one and only Nicole Buck to the show tonight. I need you to scream.
Thank
you to the show.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me again. Thank you for supporting me, and just thank you for just being there and helping me to get my words across. Because that's what my publications are. They're my words. They're my creativity in written form. So I thank you again for having me.
You're so welcome. You're so welcome. Now, I have changed the show up a little bit since the last time you were here. But however, it's still the information that comes across is the important thing. Not only the information, but the advice, the help that we need, to get our lives to another level, the advice, the help, all of these things is why we're here. Yeah. And we're having true, real conversations. That's what the show is about. We're not holding anything back, because at the end of the day, when we talk about journeys, I don't want to just know your beginning, and I just don't want to know your end, but I need all the middle, the juicy part, as we call it, the tea, so I can avoid the pitfalls or take this in as a lesson that I don't have to bump my head to get to because somebody else did it. So, absolutely. First things first, tell us a little bit about growing up in the city of Detroit.
Well, I grew up in a single parent home. However, I had, although I grew up in a single parent home, I didn't have experiences of poverty. My mother worked at Chrysler, and my mother she graduated from Michigan State, so she had a college education. So she worked at Chrysler, and she worked in an administrative role. So she was, we did well. We wasn't in the projects, but we wasn't in the suburbs neither. We was in the middle class neighborhood, and we were okay. Me and my sister. I had one sister, and we was in Girl Scouts. We was in day camp. We were very much involved in different things. My mother really took good care of us. But my father was not involved. So that masculinity um, that is needed, because it is needed in a household, that presence of a man figure, that a young woman, girl needs, was missing. But Detroit was, it was rough, but it was also cool. It was cool to be from Detroit. We were known for swag, style, like hipness, creativity, gangster. So yeah, just as everything has advantages and disadvantages. I'm honored to say I was from Detroit. I am from Detroit.
Absolutely. Um, Reading again, as you stated, um, the art of writing sometimes comes from definitely imagination, and then there's a percentage that is true facts. One thing about reading Daddy's issues, part one, being unhealed, really brought a light to not having a father around, what could possibly happen to not just girls in the house, but if there was a boy, the things that, or the traps that can be set because there is no male figure in the home or
Right.
around. And again, mom can't be everywhere at one time. She's
Mhm.
definitely not God. So there's moments where you can do pretty much what you want to do without getting caught up
Right.
to an extent.
Yeah.
Daddy issues also brought me closer to you as reading your, let's say, bio to an extent of how you got to where you are now. And this is all we really want to do as creatives, is put the information out and let it do what it does. Somebody not even realizing that they do have daddy issues might read your book and say, hey, that was me. Now
Yeah.
I understand what I'm going through or what I've been through,
Mhm.
because I'm not coming to the grips that I do have daddy issues.
Right.
Grown is all outdoors, still dealing with
Yeah.
mommy issues, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, so I was really, really all in tune with, reading the your life. There were things that I did not know about you until I read the book. Like, wait, what? She did what? That happened? Where was I at? Like, but again, even in school, we wasn't around each other like that.
Right.
I knew of you. I don't remember having too many classes with you, but I knew your name.
Yeah.
So, again, that brought light to you in saying, oh, we all had some type of thing going on with us in high school that if you wasn't in a circle, you had no clue, no idea.
Yeah.
And the blessing to be able to, graduate or go on to do something different, to actually come back and reach back and tell the story, how you made it through. Because believe it or not, some of us didn't make it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Some of us didn't make it. I'm dealing with a friend. Matter of fact, Charles Bunyan. He was maybe three guys. I'll say it this way: three guys that in middle school made an impression over me, over even in this space. And out of the three, there's only one alive now.
Mm.
Chucky passed away, I want to say last week, of a heart attack. And I have been reaching out to him. Every now and then, God will bring him to my thoughts, reach out, say hi, whatever. Um, and to get the call that he was gone and his birthday is coming up soon blew
Mm.
my mind.
Yeah.
And you still have to have some type of therapy, counseling to deal with grief.
Yeah.
And a lot of people, for some odd reason, in the Black community, we don't really talk about that.
Yeah.
We have this stigma that therapy is for crazy people.
Yeah.
And that's not the case. Good evening, Miss Rosie. That's not the case at all. And so we have to go to a place where we got to get help.
Yeah.
We need help.
Yeah.
So we don't be the next statistic, or with all the medical facilities shutting down where there's no place to go, um, which aids us into another whole different conversation of your vices.
Yep.
So before we get into getting into the book, the letters to your grands, um, tell me I remember when story. And it doesn't have to be from Detroit. It could be any story,
Related to what?
anything. It doesn't matter.
I
It's your
rem-
remember when story.
I remember when. I remember when, and it could just be any era, any
And
time.
any. Mm-hmm.
I remember when I felt the most successful as a young adult when I sold cars from age 19 to 25, and I was one of the youngest car salespeople, and I was the only African American woman used car salesperson in my department during that time, and they hadn't had a African American woman in years on the used car side, and there's always some competition. There's always competition when you're selling. You know who's gonna sell more than who's gonna be salesperson of the month, who's gonna be salesperson of the year. And because I was a female and I was a young female, I was up against some very, very heavy competition. And there was this one gentleman by the name of James Mucci. We called him Jim. And he would outsell everybody every single month. He just came in with he came into our department and he was just notorious for being like the top salesperson. He came in like just on fire. And I made it a goal to be him. Like I wanted to be him. He came in and he had beat all the top guys, and I didn't have as much determination to beat other guys than I did him. And it was because he was beating he was beating salesperson of the month consecutively. And I made it, I made a conscious effort, and I told myself that I'm going to be him. I'm going to sell more cars to him. And I want to say it was September. I forget what year it was. I think it was in September because my mom still got my plaque. But I ended up beating him. That was the one time out of the whole year that I won salesperson of the month, and I felt the most successful It was the most money that I saw in car sales during that time, and I was excited that I had beat Jim Mucci. And hey Jim, I know he out there. I beat him that month, and I was excited about it. So yeah,
Sometimes, gotta do just that. Um, Sometimes we have to understand that we're in a race of our own,
yeah,
and you have set goals for yourself to see what's already been before you. Um, when we do things intentional or on purpose, usually 9 times out of 10, we're going to accomplish that because we have set a goal for ourselves.
yeah,
Whatever it takes, in the more good moral sense, we will do just that and it's a momentum. When you hit that goal, you want to do more because
yeah,
now you know you can. And so that was an amazing I remember win story. The fact that you set the goal, you met the goal, and in that turn you got rewarded for it, not only with a plaque or award, but your money, that
yeah,
bag.
yeah, yeah.
So for all those who are watching, again, this is what hard work does for you. It'll get you to another level, an upgrade when you keep grinding.
Yeah.
Mind your business.
Yep.
Do I need to say that for the people in the back? Keep grinding and you'll
Absolutely.
get the bag too. So, my next question is, when destiny calls, what are you doing?
When destiny calls, what am I doing? When destiny calls, it could be a little. It could be a little fearful.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it could be. It could be a little fearful. I'm praying. That's what I'm doing because destiny may come with some feelings of some uncomfortable feelings. It might cause you to come out of your comfort zone.
Mm-hmm.
It may cause you to disconnect from some individuals, a lifestyle, some habits.
Mm-hmm.
It may cause you to grow in areas that you're not necessarily ready to grow in.
Mm.
So it's definitely a moment when, for me, prayer is required. Yeah.
Absolutely. So we're going to do a comparison. Now, I have other questions, but I'll get into that.
Hmm.
So let's do a hot second of your reasoning for writing Daddy's Issues.
Okay. My reason for writing Daddy's Issues was because I was transitioning into a new phase of life. Um, and I had time to actually do something that I wanted to do. I wrote that my daughter graduated from high school. She had graduated from high school. My son had graduated from high school. My son, I want to say my daughter was a sophomore in college, either a sophomore or a junior in college. And my son had been out of high school for like a year. So it was like a transition stage in my life. I had gotten my PhD, I mean my master's in 2018. I had gotten both of my kids, graduated from high school, and off onto their career paths. And I say it's time to tell my story. I felt like I felt like when I got my master's, I felt like I had mastered some different areas in my life, not just not just education wise, but personally. And I had relocated from Detroit to Charlotte with no immediate family. Granted, I did have friends in Charlotte, but I mean, my entire family was in Detroit. People that I leaned on was in Detroit. So, just to get my kids graduated from high school, my daughter off to college, my son off to barber school, and to like just kind of get them off into a career path. And I had finished my master's, and it just seemed like I had hustled so hard for those years. And when I wrote Daddy Issues, I just wanted to get some things off my chest. I was in a space where I had time, where I could think, where I could actually be creative, and I could do something that was for Nicole and not for my daughter Kay or my son Kevin. It was for what Nicole. It was for me. So yeah, that's why I wrote Daddy Issues. I needed to get some weight off of me that I didn't have time to concentrate on because I was busy raising kids. And
Mhm.
I, so yeah.
So let's do the parallel to now that we have worked. Well, Nicole has worked on Nicole,
Mhm.
and kids are being successful. Your daughter got married, correct? Yeah.
Mhm.
They have their own families, and Nicole is still making strides.
Yeah.
Where do we now get the conversation of the letters to your grands?
Letters to my grands was it was the reason that it even came about is because I got real sick in May of this year. What I thought was a respiratory infection. I ended up in the hospital for a week, admitted in the hospital. Um, it turned out to be I had double pneumonia in both lungs. I became septic. So that means that the infection from the pneumonia had entered my bloodstream and I could have died. And so while I was in the hospital, because I had severe pneumonia, um, I thought I might die. And my son was my son's girlfriend was pregnant during that time, and all I could think of is if I die, what will my unborn grandchild know about me other than what they will tell him? What will he know about me? What type of information will he be provided with? He will be provided with information that everyone else would tell him, but he wouldn't be able to be provided with information that his grandmother would have told him. And so it was just and so I had surgery. I had a bunch of lip nodes and masses on my neck area and my chest. So I had to have a biopsy for them um, to look and make sure that none of the lip nodes that they had discovered was cancerous. And they weren't, thank you God. And so it was just I had a bunch of thoughts in my brain, but the most imperative was if I die and my grandson is born, what will he know about me? What will I would never be able to tell him anything. I would never be able to, it would never have come from his grandmother's mouth. It would always come from someone else. So I told my mother when I was in the hospital, I think I'm going to write a book to my grandson. And she said, and I said, in case something happens. And she said, nothing's going to happen to you. You're going to be fine. But if that's what you want to do what you want to do. So I'm here. I'm still here to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm healed. I don't
Mm-hmm.
have cancer. I am diabetic. I still see pulmonary doctors for breathing and things like that. But for the most part, I'm okay. But I said that that was my thought when I was in a hospital bed, and I said I still want to do it. I still want to do it. So yeah, so that's what I did. I wrote a book. Yeah, and it was primarily for my grandson.
And that is really a good inspiration or vision to have. I literally, I think we had our second snow maybe about 2 weeks ago, and my car, I'm two X's away on 94. For those who don't know, that's the freeway. And I saw some cars in front of me fishtailing, and I'm like, "Oh, don't stop because I can't brake."
Yeah.
And I'm trying to turn the wheel in the turns, and God was like, "Brace yourself, it's about to happen."
Mm.
My car went from the left side all the way to the right, and my car hit the wall.
Mm.
And the only thing that I walked away, well, the car spun and it was turning in the direction of oncoming traffic. And I'm thinking to myself, God, give me a moment. I'm still here and I'm checking myself.
Yeah.
And I went to open the door and God was like, no, stay in the car. So, mind you, the spot that I just spun out of is right there. So, I'm hoping that nobody spins and hit me. So now I'm sitting here waiting for traffic to go by so I can turn around the right way to get off the freeway. So when
Mm.
I finally get home, um, the only thing that was wrong with the car was the side mirror case was broke off.
Mm.
I said, well, that could be fixed. It ain't no big deal. The mirror's still there. It's not cracked or anything like that. It's just a casing.
Right.
From that moment on, it was grind time for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
When you have near death experiences,
Yeah.
it change how you see things, how you do things. I It was like a fire that was lit under me
Yeah.
of I'm already doing stuff. Oh, but y'all about to see. I'm
Yeah.
really about to do some stuff.
Yeah.
Like, and so I get it
Yeah.
of, getting back to the thing that we do is writing, creating, um, even in the moments of legacy. Because at the end of the day, they'll be able to go back, look your name up, and see the credits of what my grandmother did.
Yeah.
And what people don't fail to, well, they fail to realize it's not about you. It
Yeah.
never was.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
never about you.
Never
The
about.
things that you experience and the doors that you have been able to walk through, things that you have accomplished. Now, as your mother have been successful in college, now that you have been successful and your kids, is your grandkids going to be doing the same thing? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because they saw it already.
Yeah. Yeah. And another thing, I thought about when I was writing it. It's alphabetic. It's alphabet themed, and the reason that I decided to do the alphabet themed is because although the verbiage is for mature kids because there's the big wording, um, I still wanted to do alphabet theme because my son, bonus son, at the time, AJ was 5, and that boy loved me. He loved me so much, like he loves me. And I said, I wanted it to be alphabet theme because I wanted his mom and his dad to be able to read the descriptions of the alphabets to him. They may not be able to provide an understanding based on how I've written it because it's for mature children. So the wording may go over his head. But if they explain it to, they read it to him and they explain which each alphabet and exactly what I am trying to say, then he will understand. He will understand it even as he grows older from my point of view because it was brought to him in an alphabet type of way.
Mm-hmm.
So now I'm learning my alphabets and then I'm also interpreting how grandma thinks according to how the things is set up in the book, so that I can learn my alphabets, I can know my alphabets, and also I'm able to interpret my grandmother's thoughts. So that's the reason why it's called Letters to my grands, because it's alphabet themed, and those are the letters. Plus there's affirmations, guidance, and spiritual scriptures and some of the letters attached to them. So that's the
Yeah,
creed.
that's really good too, because I know we played we were in the acting workshop the other day, and we played the alphabet game. So hey, I went to the store today and I got whatever the A was.
Yeah,
So automatically most people will say apples.
yeah,
But then when somebody individually that thinks outside of the box, they're not gonna think apples. I think the
right.
first word was avocados. You
Okay,
like avocados? Why wouldn't you say or B for bananas?
yeah,
No, I don't want to say that. I want to say something else.
yeah,
So again, it's coming outside of the box of how we learn. Um,
yeah,
and then there's the conversation of being mature to a certain extent to understand that, you know, yeah, it is for apples, but again, my perspective, no, I'm gonna say applesauce, or I'm gonna say something different just off of how I was taught.
yeah. Because in my book, we and for A is for an abundance of ambition.
Mm,
Talk about what that means to me. So yeah, it's good. It's very good. I had someone said read it and actually was like, I'm gonna send that to my daughter that's in college. So
absolutely.
it's good. Yeah.
I,
It's
I'm sure I'm gonna get my copy for sure. Um, but again, it takes you to a whole different realm. Like you don't have to be like everybody else because you're
yeah,
not everybody else. You don't even move the same way that everybody else does. But
yeah.
again, to even in those moments of I'm not sure about where my life is gonna be, I want to leave something
Mm-hmm. I
for
want
them.
to leave something for, because even like not only it's letters to my grands, but it's also for my kids. Because they're the ones that's gonna give me the grands. There's the one that's gonna have the kids, so they can read it and be like, "Wow, this is how Mama thinks. Mama,
Hmm.
this is because like we can leave you know we can leave our kids with money. We can leave them with materialistic items, but it's the knowledge and the wisdom is what lasts forever. The knowledge and the wisdom is what's going to make them have more money, is what's going to make them have more materialistic things. It's what's going to help them when they lose materialistic things.
Yes,
It's what's going to help them when they lose money.
yes,
um like you wisdom and knowledge and hearsay and just providing them with the sense of affirmation, spirituality. That's the stuff that lasts. That's the stuff
absolutely,
that gets you through generation to generation. That's the stuff that assists you in breaking generational curses. That's the stuff that matters. So
absolutely,
like yeah.
absolutely. The next one was who would you like to do a collaboration with?
Mm.
And it could be a collaboration with anything. Like if you like to cook, it could have been I don't know.
I would do a collaboration with my cousin, Lanasia Buck. Shout out to Lanasia Buck. She is a life coach in Detroit. She is also an author. She is dope to the third power. She is making a difference in the city. She started off as a mentor, and she is helping to develop young women, older women. She is helping to foster um, hope, self-esteem. She is immaculate. And so, if I could collaborate with anyone, I would collaborate with her.
Well,
Yeah,
I know one thing. We're gonna have to get that information after the show,
I will make sure you.
so she can come on and we're not saying toot our own horn, but we're also giving the information that there's help out there if you want it.
Yeah.
When we have all, dealt with some type of, depression, oppression, dealing with, as we say, daddy issues, all types of stuff. And the big one that we don't really talk about is grief. And grief shows up differently in everybody. So there's that. So we definitely want to get in touch with her to, put the information out. What is something people would be surprised to know about you?
Mm, hmm. I'm so transparent. Um, I don't know. I'm a very transparent person. Um, I really don't know. I struggle. I'm not. Some. Mm, I don't know if there's anything that I'm not. I'm gonna have
Okay,
to.
so I got one. I noticed your nails, right? So put your hand up.
Uh-huh.
So I know as women, we have a certain, I guess, length or reasoning that we wear false nails, right? So for my question to you, as long as your nails are, was
Mhm.
there a reason for the length that they are, how they are, or yeah?
I just like them. I just like them long. Like I didn't used to like them long though. I couldn't afford to get them. I couldn't afford to. Maybe that's it. Maybe that's the reason. I couldn't afford to get them long. I couldn't afford to pay to get certain stuff done to my nails. A few years ago, I could. It was not affordable for me. So I always kept them short, and I always kept my nails done, but they always short and plain. And so, because that's what I could afford. But now that I can afford a little bit more, yeah, I like them long. And then when they not long, I'm so used to them being long that when they not long, I just
Yeah, it's weird.
yeah.
Yes. It makes sense. That's how I am with eyelashes these days. Like to me, I was so used to doing them
Mm-hmm.
that when I don't wear them, I look weird to me, but everybody else like, "Oh, you fine." I'm like, "No." So, another thing tidbit, my mother used to suck her thumb.
Mm-hmm.
And for nerve issues, she used to bite her nails a lot. So a bet to herself was keeping her nails done.
Yeah.
So eventually my mom nails went out as long as yours. And people
Okay.
thought that wasn't hers. And I was like, no, that's hers. But that was her pat on the back or congratulations to herself for not biting her nails for one.
Yeah.
And then it was something that she kept up with, like, okay, that's part of her routine. That's part of her look now. That again, when you don't see her with long nails, it looks weird because that's what you're used to seeing her. But there's
Yeah.
always a reason behind the, as we call, madness of why we do certain things that
Yeah.
we do. So yeah, that was something nobody didn't know. So
Yeah.
uh okay, let's get into um the importance of love and perfecting your gifts. So 2024, I dedicated this show to telling people or showing people why we do what we do.
Mm-hmm.
Especially in Black love, not just the couples, but showing why you do what you do. And
Yeah.
because I love what I do, this is my way of perfecting the gift that I have. So let's talk about that from your point of view.
Okay. The importance of love and perfecting your gift. The love is very important. Love is what keeps us youthful.
Mm-hmm.
Because if it does. It keeps us youthful. It gives us something to look forward to. I hopped on the road from North Carolina to Georgia because of love. My
Mm.
son, my future daughter-in-law, my grandsons are all here. This is love. Um, I got love in North Carolina too because I was with my daughter and my son-in-law last night. So yeah, I was with them. That's the love that's there. And I got friends there, and that's love. But my new love is here. My new grandson and my other grandson. That's a different type of love. And
Absolutely.
they're here in Georgia, and so yeah, that's what keep you youthful. And the importance of perfecting your gift is very important. Is and that's funny that you said that, because when I wrote Daddy Issues, um, I it was my first book. I just wanted to get the story out. I was I was excited about the creativity that I put into it, the way in which I wrote, the cover, and everything. However, I noticed I read it so many times to prepare for part two that I noticed grammatical errors, a total of 7. Um, I noticed, and it bothered me. It bothered me. No one else, a writer, someone that's not a writer, probably would not have noticed it. Someone that doesn't necessarily critique publications or things of that matter would not have necessarily picked up on the grammatical errors. But individuals that are aware of writing patterns, um, of grammatical errors, things of that stuff, things of that matter, they would have definitely picked up on it. It still was a good story. It's still an excellent publication. It's my first baby. I love it. But I made sure that when I did this children's book, that I was more cautious and more conscious of grammatical errors, spelling errors, uh, just errors. Period. Like that the book was actually supposed to be released. I was supposed to release the link on the 15th of December, but on the 12th of December, I noticed an error. And I went back to my printers and was like, this cannot be ready for printing on the 15th. And they're like, it can't be ready for printing on the 15th because I have this error. And they're like, it takes 72 hours for us to fix it. So even if you resubmit your manuscript, it's a possibility that the people that are prepared to buy the book on the 15th may see the error. And I was devastated. And it wouldn't have, the error isn't it's not it wasn't big at all, but they were actually able to fix it on the day on the 15th.
Okay.
So anybody who purchased Daddy Issues did not get they didn't get it with the error in it because it was already fixed.
Okay.
Oh, but it was just like it was like my head was throbbing. Just the thought of it just was
Mm-hmm.
like no, this can't be and so it's just important to me that like the more I write, the more projects that I put out, that I am conscious of our proofreader, that I hire proofreaders, that I hire a proofreader to proofread. Um, you know, it's just important to me that I am ensuring that I am putting quality work out there, and that if people are spending money with me, it's important to me that my work is quality. And
Absolutely.
and so yeah, that's and actually that's actually a description for the letter Q in um for the letter Q in letters to my grands. It's about quality.
Wow. Yeah, we definitely love the, I would say, professionalism, or as we would say in the church, the spirit of excellence. Um, Everybody does not have that.
Yeah.
So even in the little things, they do matter, they do add up. So why not give your best the first time around? So again, we little things we learn from our mistakes, and it's okay. We are human. We're not AI, but we do want to put forth the best quality as possible.
Yeah.
During your moments, what's a song that will get you through or has gotten you through?
The song that has got me through is I'm okay. So I'm a mixture of um. I could be a little hood. I could be a little ratchet, and I could be a lot of spiritual. So I have. I want to say. I don't know who. I don't know who the. I don't know who the singer is, but it's a song called "It's Over Now." It's a gospel song. Um, I feel like I can make it. The
Oh
storm.
yeah, God's Property.
Yeah, yeah. That's my. Yeah, that's that has gotten me out. Yeah, that's I love that song.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's God's Property. Um, the storm is over now.
yeah.
That is really good. Um, there's another section that we talk about of importance is uplifting and empowerment. One thing that this platform is definitely about is uplifting and giving people empowerment to be able to understand that thank God you don't look like what you've been through. If you listen to me closely, you'll understand that you can make it too.
Yeah,
Um, Understanding that whatever we've been through, somebody didn't make it.
yeah,
God saw fit that we made it through the streets of Detroit, the what could have been the at that time, especially there was moments that girls was getting raped,
mhm,
kidnapped, all types of stuff.
yeah,
And thank God, um, that didn't happen. Or even if it did, it didn't kill you.
yeah,
And this is again why you're in the field that you're in. It's important again that we uplift and empower, and we get therapy, we get help.
yeah,
You don't have to walk around holding all of this stuff in, wondering why you're sick, because you're holding it in and you're not talking about it. It's okay. So, in your perspective, again, what's the importance of the uplifting and empowerment?
it's very important. I try to be. I try do my due diligence to try to be so positive because it's important. It's imperative. Everybody is fighting something. Like everybody has something that they struggle with, something that they're battling, and we don't always need anyone else to remind us of it. Sometimes we need to be reminded that we'll make it. We'll be we have a we people's gonna remind you of your shortcomings. They're gonna remind you of, where you went wrong, how you're flawed. We're gonna hear that all the time. They're gonna remind you of it. They're gonna remind you of your past, when you did this, when you did that. They're gonna remind you of it all the time. But we as individuals, especially mental health specialists, we need to remind people that there's hope. We need to remind people that taking accountability means that you are moving one step forward of getting it right. And that's, to me, that's more important than anything, because we're human, and we're going to always make mistakes. We're not going to always get it right. That's just a part of being who we are. But what's more important than anything is being able to fix it, being able to get it right, being able to acknowledge where we fall short so that we can make the correct moves to do what's necessary to fix it or to make things right. And I think that's where we often fall short, and that's where we need to learn how to be better in those areas.
Absolutely. This is where um transparency and honesty is number one for me.
Yeah.
I am definitely an open book. I will tell you about, the things I'm not proud of,
Yeah. Me.
the things, that happen in the dark.
Yeah.
Uh, and I'll tell you just as much as what happened in the light.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end of the day, I want you to realize that I'm taking you on this journey. And I want you to see you can pick and choose what part, but I want you to understand it ain't always been this easy.
Yeah.
It ain't always been peaches and cream.
Mm-hmm.
But however, in these moments God have given in those, walking the path that he will give you angels on earth. He will
Yeah.
give you people who have gone through the things that you've gone through. It's up to you to listen. It's up to you to take the breadcrumbs and get to the gingerbread house. If you
Yeah.
don't want to go, then don't go. But don't complain about it either.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
complain about it. Here it is. Someone who's from inner city, who has a bachelor, who has a master, PhD. Come on. You looking at her.
I ain't got my PhD yet.
Well, we speaking it.
I'm working on it.
So therefore, you can't say, hey, nobody from yes, you ain't just not looking and you're not listening.
Yeah.
So for me, I'm encouraged. I'm inspired. Like, man, I need to get on it. Like,
Yeah.
okay,
It's
it's
all
here.
about it's about resources. Like there's everything for there's every whatever you choose to there what if there's anything that you want to do bad enough, you can get the resources to attain it. It'll be at your fingertips. Like it literally will be at your fingertips. I heard someone said to me a few weeks ago that they didn't go to college because I want to say they said their parents couldn't afford it. I want to say that's the conversation that we had. But there is ways to get what you want. There is ways. There is, you just have to really look into the resources. You have to do your homework. You have to really you have to do your homework. And the issue sometimes is people don't always want to do the research. They
Mm-hmm.
want things to come easy to them sometimes. And that's unfortunately it just don't come easy.
No.
It requires some digging. It's going to require some research. It's going to require some concentration. It's going to require you to tune out the distractions. And that's sometimes where we fall short.
Yeah, absolutely. You just have to the first thought in my mind was like, oh, I want to finish school. I should have had several degrees by now. But however, I'm not letting anything and anybody stop me this time around.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get it done. You're the oldest person in the classroom. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get it done.
I've
Um,
heard so much. Another thing too that we have to do, I don't know. The older I get, the more I hear it. Is I hear so many people put limitations on your age. Um, I would you too old to do this, and I'm too old to be doing that. Listen, somebody said um you shouldn't be after a certain age you shouldn't be grinding so hard, or going back to school at this certain age is useless. Listen, none of it is useless. If I listen to everything that I heard people say, I wouldn't be an author, I wouldn't be a college grad, I wouldn't be on this platform right now having a conversation with you. I would not be connected to some state representatives in North Carolina. Um, I wouldn't have the affiliations and the network associate people that I'm associated with. Um, it's just so, if I would have listened to, it's so many people, they're going to project things, and you have to, if you internalize everything somebody says, it will haunt you. Someone who I was close with, who I worked at Hermanos with, and I love her. She good people. She said to me when I left, she'll be back. She can't live without her mom and her sister. She'll be back. It's 11 years. I'm still in North Carolina. I still ain't back yet. Not to say that I won't go back to Detroit, because home is
Yeah.
home. But I'm just saying, if you listen to what people say,
Mhm.
you won't move. You would. I know some good people. I mean, that I'm close to, that started over in their 40s, that started over in their 50s. Like, and they still moving, they still making progress, they still going, they still going. I'm still hustling. I'm hustling my education.
Mhm.
I'm still going. I still got so much more to do. When God allowed me to live after all I've been through with my health, that's the wake up call. That's a
Mhm.
you still got more to do.
You still got more to do. Yep.
Yeah,
I ain't ready for you.
yeah,
It's the you have to be comfortable with you. It
yeah,
starts with you. Um,
yeah,
if again, if I listen to everything everybody would have said to me, no color, no tattoos,
yeah,
no this, no that, a minister shouldn't be doing this. This is listen.
yeah, yeah,
My Father in heaven.
yeah. I'm your psych major with the purple locks and the hoop earrings and the long nails.
Exactly.
That's what I can diagnose.
Exactly.
I'm a two-time author. I can write children's
Hmm.
books. I specialize in oppositional defiant disorders with my purple locks and my long nails and my hoop earrings.
Absolutely. I
Yeah,
don't think people we had this conversation at work that for some odd reason, I don't know where this came from, but people are looking for mental illness to look a certain way.
yeah, yeah.
Um, or you're looking for your leaders to look a certain way.
As
Some
if they
people,
have style, as if they don't want to be creative in their image. In their image,
exactly.
I'm
First
still.
of all, he said, let us make man in our image. So everybody looks different, moves differently, and that's on purpose. Because
Right.
again, he's different. So why would he clone you?
Yeah,
Why? What there's people that we will reach that some other person won't reach. And
mhm,
sometimes it is off your look. It is your vibe. It is this. But if you don't put yourself in that situation, who knows?
yeah,
I mean, help can come from a little kid.
yeah,
If it can come from an ass, why not?
right,
So I don't know where they got this mindset from of what are you looking for? It has to look like this. It has to sound like this. No, it does not. It does not.
yeah,
Some of your well-known rich people, tattoos from head to toe.
yeah,
So again, change your way of thinking. Let's go into 2025 with changing the way you think and your perception in your mind and what you're looking at. Let's do that. Let's
yeah,
be a real village. Now, in my village in Detroit, there was my neighbors, there was my family, my extended family, the church, and my school. And
hmm,
every teammate that I ever had, my schoolmates that I talked to, case in point, that I
yeah,
still talk to this day. You are still important to me as you was when we were kids.
absolutely, absolutely,
You have did something, or we've had conversations, we had this relationship, we had this connection for a reason, not knowing 20, 30 years later, we will be here today having this conversation about why you wrote a letter to your grandson.
yeah. Yeah.
Full circle.
Yeah.
We went from daddy issues, progressing from that. So I'm going to talk
To my
directly to my grandkids.
yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Full circle.
Full circle.
And now I can go back and talk about daddy issues as a healed person, still coming back to now I can relate this to my grandkids.
Yeah.
For one, we broke a generational curse because their daddy is in their life.
Yep.
So again, when you think it's just this, no, it is not just this. Our experiences in life and the things that we have conquered, we have been through, it was never about me. It's never about Nicole.
Yeah.
And as you can see, it's our grandkids, it's legacy.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Full circle.
Full circle.
So now that we said we got the full circle, now let's talk about what does a balanced life look like for you?
A balanced life, it would be um a balanced life would be entertainment, education, spirituality, creativity, and love. That's a balanced life.
That's good combos. Like seriously, because again, we can't do nothing without God, first of all.
Yeah.
Two, the goals that we set, it may look far off, but then you do one day at a time. You'll get there. And
Yeah.
before you know it, you're there. Like, what's next?
Mhm.
What's next? When you
Mhm.
have a village and people around you that support you to keep pushing you. I have personal cheerleaders that like, look, get up out of that funk and get
Yeah.
up, do what you need to do because it's in you. Now
Yeah.
let it come out. So again, the strong need those people too.
Yeah.
We carry a lot within our families. We carry a lot within our friendships and whatever else, and people at our jobs. We carry a lot of people. But at
Yeah.
the end of the day, I'm still here for a purpose. I'm still here for a reason. Um, and so uh I am definitely proud of you, always been.
Thank you.
From the first book all the way to whenever the last one is. I'll always be here regardless. I told you when I saw your post about the book coming out, I reached out to you like, hey,
You
you know you
did.
come on here. We gonna do what we can do on this end. Just let me know when you free.
Thank you. And
And this is how it's always gonna be. I'm never gonna change. I'm still the same person. And I feel like the world needs to see it. I feel like the world needs to read it. Um, and I promote what I believe in. So again, this is why we're here. So before we get into our um our church announcements, as I would say, is there anything that you want to tell the people tonight?
I just want to say thank you for everyone that has supported me, um, that bought daddy issues, that bought letters to my grands. Letter to my grands, the first few days did more than daddy's issues did in his first week. So I thank you all. Detroit, oh, thank you. Just thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for everybody that support me. Thank you for Charlotte, North Carolina. Thank you for Jersey and New York. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I got more promoting to do with these books. I'm about to rebrand myself. I'm about to really dive deep into creative writing and publishing. And so I just thank everyone who has supported me and that continues to support me. And it's more to come.
Absolutely. And I'm so proud of you and
Thank you.
what you have accomplished so far. Um, Also tonight, I am featuring a couple of new songs that was given to me. My friend Larry Jackson did 5 songs for me as theme songs to my show. And I cried and cried. This is the second time this has happened where somebody just did the theme song for me. And I'm listening to the words and I'm crying like, what is happening? And God told me to accept it, receive it. Because this is you. So you're gonna see and hear new music. 2025, we are already on the road. New things, rebranding. You just have no clue, no idea. So, let's get into the announcements. Again, thank you for those who have tuned in. Thank you for all that you do for this show, for every guest that comes on. I can't do this without you. So, May of this year, 2024, I had an opportunity to write my second book, and prayer changed things. From the perspective of, have you ever asked, how did a pimp and a prostitute become who they were? I'm sure as kids, they didn't say that I wanted to be this. What happened in their lives where they felt like this is the answer? I want you to get this book and ask the question, can, will, and did prayer change things? It is out on Amazon. You can put my name in, the code, or the title of the book, and it will come up. In 2022, the first book that I wrote by myself, which was The Blueprint of God's Design. God was telling me, sit down and reset. You're doing too much. You're doing my job, or you're trying to. And you fail to realize that's why you sick. This is why you can't rest. This is why this and this and that. So I had to take that and say, sit down and reset. So I want you to get that book to see how God actually did that for me. If you want to continue to donate to see this show get to TV land, I told you I want to be the next Arsenio Hall / Ellen DeGeneres, Black female, right? Who's not only bringing entertainment but also bringing artists of all types. Basically, my heart. We're bringing all colors, all nationalities, all ages, everybody. Everybody is included. Everybody is a celebrity to me. Even when you don't feel like it's yourself. But you are to me. So again, Cash App, Sunshine Camila, thank you in advance for that. This conversation has been brought to you by Blacktop Streetball Association. Actually, Wally Dixon was on earlier today. Again, this is his baby. If you remember and 1 and what all that did for the culture, well, we're getting it back. Now you will see them as coaches and owners of teams. As we always say, we have to learn our lessons sometimes. And so we're coming out better. I need you to go there and support him. If you know of people who are doing awesome, who got something to say, who put out help or advice, or they want to promote, I'm here. Inbox me on Facebook at Sunshine Camila. Inbox me on IG. You can email me. That is me responding to you. There's nobody else but me. So again, I need y'all to do that as well. Let's see what else is going on. AC's Teas. My girl, if you never had ginger or turmeric tea, believe me, you will be addicted. AC's Tea, she's on Facebook at AYE CEE 313-380-0321, and she delivers. Let her know I sent you. I promise you, you will not regret it. Famous catering, famous Peggy James. You know she can sing. Now you know she can cook. So famous catering 586-222-8417. Again, you can let her know that I sent you. She is a beautiful blessing. My baby sister, my real blood sister. I need y'all to go support her. You got questions about gardening, you have questions about raising quail or canning food or any of that, get in touch with my sister IG, Quail House Homestead. On Facebook, she's Yolanda Peoples. Please support them. Now that we said all of that, Nikki, can you please tell them where they can get your book at and how to follow you?
Yes, you can get Daddy's Issues as well as Letters to My Grands on Amazon. And you can also follow me by the name of Nicole Buck, Buck, on Facebook, and Nicole M. Buck on Instagram.
Is it Daddy's Issues?
Daddy Issues.
Daddy Issues.
Part 1. Unhealed on Amazon.
If I can spell, that would be wonderful.
Little voice be your guide. Sunshine Camila, you'll always find your stride. Tune in, turn up, let her light shine through. Sunshine Camila, she's singing just for you. Sunshine Camila, oh she's got the glow. Her podcast is the place where dreams do grow.
Nikki Buck is on Facebook.
Yes. Nikki Buck. And then on Instagram is Nicole, the letter M, Buck all together.
All right. So you guys, I thank you again for tuning in tonight. I need you to support her in all her endeavors. Of course, this will not be the last time you see her, of course. Again, I'll follow her on Facebook, follow her on IG. Go to Amazon and get these books. Support her, support her, support her. Village, as you know, I believe in 6 degrees of separation. You are literally one person away, one advice away, one help away from where you need to be in your destiny. Proven over and over again since we started this show in 2020. And as always, I have some of the dopest people on this side of heaven right here on this show. Again, I'm not sure. I probably won't be doing a show on New Year's Eve. But you'll see me in the new year. And it's going to be amazing. So even if I don't see you in person, just know I love you. Be safe out here. There's still things out here that's trying to take us out, but I need you to be safe and healthy. Again, enjoy your family. Enjoy love this next 2 weeks. So again, I thank you again. Thank you, Nicole, for coming and having this conversation. And I will see y'all in the new year. So again, from Keeping It Real Conversation show with your host, Camila, aka Sunshine. I love you with all my heart, and this has been a wonderful year. And I'll see you in the new year. Peace.
Thank you.